Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter vector, and here I'm on grade 10 math. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is compass directions and vectors. Use compass directions to describe the directions of the vector. So this is north, east, south and west, right? So of all the directions, the vector is closest to the pointing due east. However, it is actually pointing 40 degrees south of that. So the vector is 40 degree south of east. Basically, the vector is between south and east, right? East. So you can see this arrow, that is 40 degrees south of east, right? Let's just look at the second one. That is 40 degree south of east. Here is south and here is east. So that is between south and east. That is 34 degree of east. South of east it is, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Use the compass directions to describe the direction of the vector. So you can see you are given the vector. The angle is 40 degrees. You can see this arrow. This arrow is towards the south. So that is 40 degree south of east, because that is between south and east. So the correct option is 40 degrees south of east. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Okay. Use compass direction to describe the direction of the vector. So the vector is between west and north, right? And the arrow is pointing towards north. So that is 16 degree north of west. Got it? That is 16 degree north of west, because the angle is between north and west. So that is 60 degree north of west. Use compass direction to describe the direction of the vector. So which is the correct option? That is the angle, this angle is pointing from north to west, right? So then that is 39 degree west of west of north. 39 degrees west of north. So the correct option is 39th degree north of west option. North west of north option number 2 is the correct option. Let's move on to next one, that is use compass direction to describe the vector direction of the vector. So the vector is from west to north. So that is 40° north of west. The correct option is 40° north of west because that is between north and west. So that is 40° of north of west. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next one is find the magnitude of a vector. Let's just start with the next lesson. Find the magnitude of the vector. Write your answer in simplified form. Okay, so you are given a vector. You need to find out the factor magnitude of the vector. So to find the magnitude of the vector, first locate its initial point at the base of the arrow and its terminal point. So you have to locate that is this is the initial, that is at 0 0, and this is the arrow that is 0 at 5, right? Since the x coordinates of both of them are 0 0 and the terminal 0 0, right? The vector is vertical. So the magnitude is absolute value of the difference of the y coordinate. So the difference of the y coordinates is 5 minus 0 is 5. So that means the magnitude of this vector is 5, right? Okay, let's just look at the other example. Find the vector magnitude of the vector. So this is at 0 0 and this is at negative 10 0, 0 negative 10, right? So then the the magnitude is the absolute value of the difference of y coordinate, right? So the y coordinate is negative 10 0, that is negative 10, but that is an absolute value, so 10 it is. Let's just start with the test questions, right? Find the magnitude of the vector, write your answer in simplified form. So that is the initials of the vector are 0 0 and the second one is negative 0 and negative 10, right? So basically the magnitude of the vector is absolute value of the difference of y coordinates, right? So negative 10 minus 0, that is negative 10, but that is an absolute value, so the correct option is 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. The magnitude of the vector is 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. So the correct option is option number 1, that is 10. Find the magnitude of the vector, write your answer in simplified form. So the initials are at 0 0 and the terminal at 0 and 9, right? So then that means the magnitude of the vector is Yes, 9 it is. The magnitude of this vector is 9. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? So because the magnitude are always the absolute value, right? So the magnitude is always the positive value. Got it? Find the magnitude of the vector. Write your answer in simplified form. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 7. Option number 2 is the correct option. So as I've already told you, the magnitude is the absolute value of the y coordinates, right? So that is always a positive value. Got it? Okay, find the magnitude of the vector. Use write your answer in simplified form. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 2, that is 8. The magnitude of the vector is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Find the magnitude of the vector. Write your answer in simplified form. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1, that is 10. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is find the component from find the component form of a vector. Let's just start with the lesson. Write the vector in component form. So to write the vector in component form, first locate the initial point and terminal point. So initial is at 0, 0 and terminal is at negative 7 and 3, right? The initial is at 0, 0. This is the initial and this is the terminal, right? So initial is 0, 0 and the terminal is point is located on x-axis, that is negative 3, and on y-axis, that is 3, right? So you need to find the horizontal, the change in x-axis values, right? So the change in x is negative 7, 0. That is negative 7 minus 0 is negative 7. The change in vertical value is 3 minus 0, that is 3. So that means the components of the vector is negative 7 and 3. You have to find the change in x value and change in y value, that is negative 7 and 3, right? Okay, look at the second one. So the terminal arm is at 0, the initial is at 0, 0. This is the initial. This is the terminal. The terminal is at 5 and 3. So you need to find a change in, for the components, you need to find a change in x value and y value. So change in x is y, 5, 5 minus 0 is 5, and change in y is 3 minus 0, that is 3. So the correct option is 5 and 3. Got it? C, that is 5, 3. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Write the vector in component form. So whenever you have to write the vector in component form, you need to find the coordinates first. The coordinates, this is the initial, the coordinates of the initial is 0, 0, and this is the terminal. The terminal coordinates of the terminal is 7 and 0. So whenever you have to find the component form of the vector, you have to find a change in y component and change in x. So y component is 7 minus 0 is 7, and x is 0. So that is 7 and 0. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? That is 7 and 0. Write the vector in component form. So which is the correct option? Which option is the correct one? Yes, the correct option is 5 and 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 5 and 3. Very good. Okay, the next one is write the vector in component form. So which is the correct option? So which is the correct option? You have to write this vector in component form. So the initial is 0, 0 and the terminal arm is at mm, negative 3 and 8, right? That is 0, 0 -3 and -8. So then the component of the vectors are, yes, that is -3 and -8. Option number 2 is the correct option. So the correct option is option number 2, that is -3 and -8. Okay, the next one is, what is the, write the vector in component form. So which is the correct option? How do you write? The correct option is -7 and 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Write the vector in component form. So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? That is 8 and -5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is, find the component form of the of a vector given its magnitude and direction angle. The magnitude of the vector D is 17. The direction angle is 63 degrees. Write the component form of P. So when you are given the magnitude and the component and the direction angle, how do we calculate the component form? You have to do B cos theta and B sin theta. B is the magnitude of the factor. So B is the magnitude is 17. That is 17 cos 63 and 17 sin 63. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Let's see how do we find the magnitude of the angle. How do we find the components, right? The magnitude of the vector B is 17 and its direction is is 63 degrees. So you have to do B cos theta and B sin theta. B is 17 cos 63 and 17 sin 63. So let me just use the calculator and calculate the value. First you have to find the cos 63, then you have to multiply it by the 17. That is 7.71. So that is option number 7.71. And now sine 63 and multiply by 17, that is 15.15. So that means option number 1 is the correct option. They are 7.71 and 16.15. So option 5 15.15. So option number 1 is the correct option. That is option number 1. The magnitude of the vector B is 29 and your direction angle is 83. Write the component form of B. So you have to write down the component form, right? So that means that is 29 cos 83 and 29 sin 83. So which is the correct option? Let's just calculate cos 83 multiply by mm, cos 83 multiply by 19, sorry 29, that is 3.53, and the second one is sine 63 sine 83 times 29, so that is 28.78. So option number 1 is the correct option. That is 3.53 and 28.78. So all you have to do is the calculations, right? So the correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. That is 3.53 and 28.78. Okay, the next one is the magnitude of the vector V is 9 and its direction angle is 38 degrees. Write the component form of vector V. So which is the correct option? You can do the calculations and write answer in the chat box. You have to do 9 cos 38 and 9 sin 38. So let me just do cos 38 times 9, that is 7.09. Option number 2 it is, right? And then you have sine 38 degrees multiply by 9, that is 5.54. So option number 2 is the correct option. That is 7.09 and 5.54. The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? The magnitude of vector C is 3 and its direction is 7 degree. Write the component form of the vector C. So you have to do 3 times cos 7 and 3 times sin 7. So let's just do cos 7 is 0.992 multiplied by 3, that is 2.98, option number 2, right? And then you have sine 7, option number 2 is the correct option, right? The correct option is option number 2, that is 2.98 and 0.37. Option number 2 is the correct option. The next one is the magnitude of the vector x is 7 and its direction angle is 77 degrees. Write the component form of x. So which is the correct option? You need to write down the component form. So just do the calculations and find your answer. Option number one is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. Chapter we're working on is vectors. The lessons we have covered today are compass directions and vectors. Find the magnitude of a vector, find the component of a vector, and find the component form of a vector given its magnitude and direction angle, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please write down the questions in the chat box for which you need help. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session.